Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 for his work in helping to end racial segregation in South Africa. He is considered the father of democratic South Africa and widely admired for his ability to bring together a nation previously divided by apartheid. Nelson Mandela, more than just a political leader. Inspiration 100.5 FM, more than just a radio station.
Yeah. Family radio, something for everybody. Keep you grooving on from the dawn into the dusk, yeah. 100.5 education, information, entertainment, news and sport at its best. You know what we talking about. It's the radio for everybody. Inspiration, 105. Family radio, something for everybody. 100.5, yeah. Inspiration FM. Inspiration 100.5. generations to come, and for generations to come. Will the fatherland, we believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there. Will the fatherland, we believe in Nigeria and the promise she holds, and that one day we'll shine like the sun. We're a great nation. Say we only have with the fatherland. We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there someday. Can somebody say with the fatherland? We believe in this our nation, Nigeria, and the promises she holds for us. And someday we will shine like the sun. Oh, from the north, south, east, and west. Somebody say, if you believe, join us. Say, with the fatherland, we're all we have. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, say we are, with the fatherland. I believe, and I know you do too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, very good morning to you wherever you're listening to the sound of my voice. This is a beautiful Friday morning. TGIF. You're welcome to another exciting edition of Pay Per View on Inspiration 100.5 FM, your number one family radio here in the brown roof city of Ibadan at 43 Standard Junction, Orita Bashoron, here in the city of Oluyole. You're welcome. You already know every weekdays like that are from Mondays to Friday, 8 to 9 a.m. But we get to bring to you a pay-per-view where we get to, check through the national dailies and check some of the stories are making the rounds, and most of the stories as it affects both you and I. We mostly have analysts in the house to do justice to some of the stories. And the concluding part of the program, we also give you, our wonderful listeners, the opportunity to contribute your own opinion about some of the stories we've read out for you. My whole name is James Odediran, and I'm going to be your guide for pay-per-view this wonderful morning on Inspiration 100.5 FM. Without wasting much of our time, I'm going to kickstart the program straight off with stories from the Punch newspaper this morning. And I'll be having my guests joining me over the phone very, very soon. The first one I'll be taking this morning is interim government parties back military as DHQ, that's Defense Headquarters, rubbishes plot says calls illegal. Okay, police probe abduction of Plateau monarch. As if that of yesterday wasn't enough, this insecurity in the northern part of the country just keeps getting worse almost every day. All right, another one here is FCT school converts a health center to classrooms. ASU calls for redistribution of 320 billion naira intervention fund. Court remands a 29-year-old man for sexually assaulting 9-year-old boy. Wow. 9-year-old boy. Okay. Another one here says a sacked LP chair blames APC as police occupy secretariat. Okay. EFCC arrests 8 suspected internet fraudsters in Abuja. I thought we were even over these fraudsters news almost every time, but I guess we're having a resurgence of such stories these days. All right. Concerning what Ohaneze and Igbo told Igbo people staying in Lagos yesterday, they are back now to counter that story again to say remain in Lagos for census. Ohaneze tells Igbo. All right. Another one here. Don't appoint a physician as health minister union urges Tinubu. Okay, let's go over to the to Daily Trust newspaper right about now, and we'll take a very few stories from there before we would move over to another newspaper this Friday morning. Subsidy remover experts flay FG's $800 million palliatives. When I also saw that story yesterday, I was like, hey, so who are those that are going to enjoy this $800 million palliative that federal government is about to distribute? Maybe I should even just know those that are behind the I don't know. So that means I've gone and submit my credential. I know. I just can't about palliative. Buhari sacks Saratu Umar as NIPC boss. Okay, many killed in renewed Kutep's Fulani fight in Taraba. The insecurity just keeps getting so much. As if that was not enough, another one here is coming from Edo State. A gunman killed 3 cops, injured other in Edo. Oh, I pray God restores normalcy to dear nation, Nigeria. Okay, now over to Vanguard newspaper. Labour, NECA, NYCN reject subsidy remover palliatives. Right? Okay, let's check one last story. Let's check one last story before I delve into some of the stories that we've taken the headlines this morning. Gunmen invade Lagos community, kill 3, injure 1. The insecurity stories just keeps getting more by the day. All right, now to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. 10 governors losing Senate bid shows voters new sophistication. That's coming from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. All right, let's just go into some of the stories this morning. I'll be starting from the very first one. Interim government parties back military as DHQ rubbishes plot, says calls illegal. The defense headquarters on Thursday describes as unconstitutional calls for an interim government after the emergence of the president-elect. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Madani, stated this in Abuja during the bi-weekly update with journalists on Armed Forces of Nigeria operations. He condemned the clamor for an interim government by those unhappy with the outcome of the presidential election, stating that the ING was illegal and unconstitutional. the People's Democratic Party, the All Progressive Congress, and the New Nigeria People's Party supported the military's pledge to defend the constitution. Some candidates who lost the election and their supporters had been agitating for the interim government, hinging their demand on the reported malpractices recorded during the presidential election, which was won by the APC standard bearer Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sequel to the protest and alleged inflammatory statements by the proponent of the interim government, the Department of State Services alerted the nation to a plot by unnamed politicians to scuttle the transition and install an interim government. The rest of that story is on the Punch newspaper this morning. All right, over to FCT school converter Elta Center to classrooms. Management of government secondary school in Jeddah Kuje area, Abuja, has converted the health center within the school into classrooms. This, the management said, was due to such a shortage of classrooms for students. The improvisation by the management came to the fore on Thursday when the facilitator of the center, Senator Philip Aduda, inspected the project and others within Kuje and Gwagwalada areas. The principal of the school, Mr. Muhammad Tanko, said that the improvisation came about due to shortage of classrooms for students of the school. The action, he explained, was in line with the saying that necessity is the mother of invention. Tanko said the management staff and students of GSS Jeddah are extremely grateful for the intervention projects facilitated to the school, like the block of 6 classrooms nearing completion. The rest of that story can also be seen on the Punch newspaper this morning. We'll go for a very short commercial break right about now. When we're back, I will take some of the stories, and I'll be linking up with our analyst this morning, Barrister Folusho Olakpo, to do justice to some of the stories. Don't go nowhere.
100.5
Number one, Family Radio.
Inspiration FM.
Thank God it's Friday!
Babe, what's the big deal about Friday anyway?
Well, for me, Friday is not just any other day, but one to always anticipate.
And then?
It's Zinger Triple Treat Friday at KFC.
It's 3 times finger licking good with KFC Zinger Triple Treat. Only on Fridays at all KFC stores nationwide. Buy 3 Zinger burgers at over 40% discount. Available when you walk into any KFC stores nationwide or order online on any of our delivery partners.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
You can now follow Inspiration FM on social media.
Yeah, on Instagram at
IFM 1005 IB.
On Facebook, facebook.com/IFM
1005 IB.
Twitter at IFM
1005 IB.
So
follow
and chat. Chat with us, follow us.
follow.
At IFM 1005 IB.
Oluyole City, Ibadan. And today, check us out on 100.5 FM.
Okay, you're welcome back. It's still pay-per-view on Inspiration 100.5 FM. I'll take some more news headlines now before we link up with Barrister Folusho Olakpo, who is already on standby. All right, ASU calls for redistribution of 320 billion naira intervention fund. All right, the Academic Staff Union of Universities has called for the redistribution of the 320.3 billion naira intervention fund approved by the federal government for tertiary institutions in the country. Reports have it that President Muhammadu Buhari had approved the sum of 320 billion 345,040,835 naira as the 2023 intervention funds for public tertiary education institution in the country. The Executive Secretary of TET Fund, Sonny Echonu, disclosed this in Abuja on Wednesday during the fund's annual strategic planning workshop with all heads of beneficiary institutions. The rest of that story is also on the Punch newspaper this morning. Court remands 29-year-old man for sexually assaulting 9-year-old boy. All right, another story here is says sacked LP chair blames APC as police occupy secretariat. All right, I also have another one. EFCC arrest 8 suspected internet fraudsters in Abuja. Also, the last story I'll be taking from the Punch newspaper is coming from Ohanese and Digbo, where they said remain in Lagos for census. Ohanese tells Igbo. All right, I'll be heading over to Daily Trust newspaper. The first one here is saying subsidy removal experts flay FG's $800 million palliatives. Reps mandate a 5-year practice for doctors before leaving Nigeria. Buhari sacks Saratu Umar as NIPC boss. Many killed in renewed coup-attempts of Fulani fight in Taraba. The last one from Daily Trust is saying gunmen killed 3 cops, injured 3, injured order in Edo State. All right, over to Vanguard newspaper. NECA Labour NYCN rejects subsidy removal palliatives. All right, gunmen invade the Lagos community, kill 3, injure 1. All right, I'll be linking up with our analyst right about now, Barrister Folusho Olapo. Hello, good morning to you, Barrister Folusho.
Yes, good morning, James. How are you today?
I'm very well, and you too, sir.
A very happy Good Friday to you. I hope you are not eating meat today.
Meat, kwa. Oh, where now?
Happy Good Friday anyway.
Same to you, sir. Same to you. I hope your day has been awesome so far.
Sure. Thank God for everything.
Okay. I'm sure you've listened to some of the stories I've reeled out this morning, but I would like to go over some of the headlines just for a recap. All right. Interim government parties back military as DHQ rubbishes plot, says call illegal. Another one is police probe abduction of Pre2 monarch. All right. FCT school convert health center to classrooms. Also, ASU calls for redistribution of 320 billion naira intervention fund. Okay, we also talked about a court remanding a 29-year-old man for sexually assaulting 9-year-old boy. Sacked LP, that's a Labour Party chair, blames the LPC as police occupy secretariat. APC arrests 8 suspected internet fraudsters in Abuja. Remain in Lagos for census, Ohanese tells Igbo. Subsidy remover, that's coming from Daily Trust now. Subsidy remover experts flay FG's $800 million palliatives. Reps mandate 5-year practice for doctors before leaving Nigeria. Buhari sacks Saratu Umar as a NIPC boss. Many killed in renewed coup-attempts of Fulani fight in Taraba. And some other stories that we have there. But I'd like you to start with the very first one, which is coming from the defense headquarters that is saying call for interim government is very, very illegal. Do you see this rumor seeing any light of day, Barrister Folusho?
Of course, it cannot see the light of day because Nigeria is a constitutionally governed country, and whatever happens in this country has to emanate from the Constitution.
Okay.
And that is why the Constitution is the ground norm, the king of all laws of Nigeria. And in that Constitution, there was no provision even for an interim government.
Okay.
One. Then, secondly, Section 1, subsection 2 of that Constitution stated expressly that no government of Nigeria or no group, no person or a group of persons can take over the government of Nigeria except as it is, contained in the Constitution. So, and when we look at the provisions of the Constitution, the only way a person can take over government in Nigeria is through democratically elected government. So, an election has taken place, and somebody had been declared a winner.
Okay.
So, if anybody is disgruntled, the process of becoming an elected, probably president or whatever, is also there in the Constitution. Whereas where somebody has been declared winner and another person is aggrieved about this, then they have to go to the court.
Sure.
So you seek redress at the electoral tribunal, which is on ground already, and even the gladiators are already there. So this issue of interim government or no interim government, I think, is just to heat up the country. It's not the best thing at all. Something that may be akin to some sort of interim government that we may see in the Constitution is only elongation of time of the president.
Okay.
And that can happen.
Is that provided for in the Constitution?
Sure. Especially when there is war. Or where there's one or two other places in Nigeria that is ungovernable. In that instance, the president can declare a state of emergency, which where the National Assembly is in session. If they did not, approve that state of emergency within 2 days, then that state of emergency is null and void. Now, if the National Assembly is not in session within 10 days, if they didn't come back and approve it, then to that extent it becomes nullified. So it means that where there is an emergency, where there is war going on, or for instance the COVID thing, that's an emergency situation. We cannot go out to vote in that circumstance.
Okay.
So the president may declare a state of emergency, and to that extent, automatically his time will be extended.
Of course.
So to that extent, even the law too, guide against misuse of such power, and that is why it puts the National Assembly there that the National Assembly must confirm such a situation before it can become law, and it can only stand within 6 months.
Okay.
After 6 months, if it still continues like the COVID thing that I alluded to, then the National Assembly again have to confirm such. So it's not something that somebody can just wake up one day because he has a brainwave he wanted to do. No, it's not done. The state of emergencies have been done in Nigeria, I think 2 or 3 times. During the census of 1962, which culminated into the arrest of Baba Obafemi Awolowo, Enahoro, Alfred Rwani, and the rest. And they were charged for treasonable felony. Then another one is during, I think, Obasanjo regime, when he declared a state of emergency in Plateau State during the whatever. I think you can remember that.
Of course,
I think in 2004.
Yeah.
Yes. Then another one is, I think Jonathan in 2014, I don't dare about, when he declared state of emergency in Borno during the some part of Borno. It's not even all the part of Borno. Some part of Borno State.
When they were having some unrest.
Yes, the Boko Haram and all that
insurgency.
Thing. So it's not something that is just done one day because you just realize that you wanted to extend your tenure. No. It's not done that way. So both the state of emergency, which can only happen where there's actually a state of emergency, and interim government. In fact, interim government at all was not stated in the Constitution. So the Constitution did not,
make provision for interim government.
Yes, of an interim government. The only thing it does is that anybody can take over the reign of government in Nigeria by electoral processes. And that electoral processes has been done. So anybody shouting or stating interim government, I think it's just trying to heat up the the polity and make and I don't know why they have to do that anyway. But as it were, it is unconstitutional, it is illegal, and it is treason if anybody is found
with such.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that, Barrister Folusho Olapo. I'd like your reaction to ASU calling for the redistribution of the 320 billion naira intervention fund from the federal government.
Okay. We remember ASU was on strike for 8 months.
Of course.
And especially for the revitalization of universities.
Yeah.
But to me, whether this money is enough or is, I don't know, because it's not for tertiary, it's not for university alone. It's for all the tertiary institutions in Nigeria, especially federal tertiary institutions. And I think I read it somewhere that I think universities will have $1 billion naira plus each, while polytechnics will have 600 million and thereabouts,
okay.
And colleges of education will have about 800 million. I think this is just what I will regard as a palliative. It is not going to help. You know, what the universities and tertiary institutions or the educational sector needed mostly is some sort of restructuring.
Okay.
Some sort of going back to the roots of what is happening, making sure that one, university education and every tertiary institution in Nigeria are almost how can I put it now? They are free from the grip of the government. You know, like it is being done now. It's like they are running the universities and the higher institutions like a ministry of the federal government.
Okay.
No, they should have their own freedom. They should be autonomous. They should decide. They should be able to decide on the admission. They should be able to decide on who they wanted and how they want to run their universities, and they should be able to raise funds. That is special. They should be financially autonomous. And what the federal government should do is to ensure where, for instance, a University of Ibadan, have to hike their fees from yes. And, ordinarily that may not allow many people to be able to access education.
Of course.
So what the federal government will do is, one, to make student loan available. Two, to make scholarship available. Three, to make, we were giving this something when we were in the university, just stipend, 5,000 or something like that then. Bursary, yes. To make bursaries available so that the children of the non-rich, the Mekonos, could be able to access
the middle and low class.
Yes, should be able to access quality, and I underline that, quality education. And it's not Mr. President that we approve, who is the Vice Chancellor. It's not Mr. President that we approve when they have to go on go on break and all that. That is making things very muddy. And that is why I said, even this 320,000 will not reach anywhere.
20 million.
In fact, 20 million. Thank you for billion. Thank you for that. It will not go anywhere. To me, we know the antecedents of our leaders in Nigeria. We just said that monies have been voted to some universities, and what do we have? At the end of the day, nothing. So I think a restructure, a conference of stakeholders in the educational sector should be called and ensure that at the end of the day they agree on way forward so that ASU and the rest will stop going on strike every time. You see, I want to bet to James that before the end of next year, if care is not taken, there may be another strike.
From ASU, right?
Sure. Because this money will not reach anywhere. And they will be calling for revitalization. They've been calling for revitalization since I was little. Even when I was in the universities too. We lost almost 2 years. I have to spend about almost 6 years. 6 or 7 years for a course of 5 years.
Wow.
It's not that
additional 2 years.
Yes, it's not that I failed. That because they were going on strike almost every day. So my children should not be, in that situation any longer. And still,
we should get better at things.
yes, better, better. So if they are doing the thing they've been doing since when I was in school, some years ago, and they are still doing it, and it's not, bringing out any good thing out of it, then the definition of insanity comes in. That is doing the same thing the same way
and expecting another result,
different results. So I think what we need in this nation is a meeting of stakeholders of educational sector and arrive at a situation where every universities, institutions of learning will be autonomous of the federal government. Let them look for their money. Let them fund themselves. Let them
govern themselves.
Yes, let them govern themselves. You cannot say somebody that is lecturing in Ibadan, for instance, should be collecting the same salary as somebody that is lecturing in Lagos or Abuja. Because cost of living in those places are higher than that of Ibadan. Yes, it's not that. Yes, it's because of cost of living. It's not because they are more knowledgeable than the people of Ibadan. No, that's not what I'm saying. But the cost of living and in where they are staying. So these universities have to decide what is good for them and what is not good for them, and not the federal government doing that for them.
Okay.
So, like I said, James, this 320 billion naira goes to nothing at the end of the day.
Okay.
Probably, it will end up in some people's, I don't know what to say.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, by the end of next year, max 2020, that by the end of this year, or March 2024, you will see there will be another strike.
All right, and in the same vein with reporter having to do with schools, I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a report that an FCT school converted health center to classrooms. So my question now is that when do you think we'll get it right in our education sector?
When we are ready to do the right thing.
And the right thing is
the right things, going back to the basis. Going back to see how best we can manage education in this country. Going back to the basis means that every institutions are autonomous and governs themselves. That every institution decide how many people they want to admit. In fact, JAMB and NUC should go, because it doesn't have when JAMB was founded, what we have in this country then was only federal universities. So now states have schools, private people have schools. Why should you want them to come under JAMB before they admit people into their distance? So JAMB at most what they should have done, or what they could do if they don't want to scrap them because of the people that are working there, is to make sure that probably they prepare exams for the people that are going for federal institutions alone. State universities, private institutions should be able to determine who they admit into their schools. The NUC should just be an instrument. I mean, where in fact there's no need for NUC because we even have a Ministry of Education. So some of these are centralized things that is making this country ungovernable. Because we are a federal government, operating a unitary type of government, where the center seems to be overpowerful. Not until
the power is too concentrated on the federal.
Yes, in the central. So not until those powers are deregulated. Deregulated now means that they are devolved even to the states. Then that is when we can have a better education or even health whatever in this country. It's not all these palliative sort of things that they are doing.
Okay.
So they say, well, it's okay. They provided money, but it will end up in nothing.
That means by the time the money is exhausted, we'll still go back to the basis.
To square one again. So, and why do we continue to do that? We have people that are very learned, very educated, very smart in this country. And why should we be doing this to ourselves?
Okay. All right. Another story that I would be taking a look at this morning is remain in Lagos for census, or Aneze tells Igbo. Now, this is like a counter report to what we had yesterday. The
Okay.
apex body had said yesterday that Igbo people residing in Lagos should come back to the east or the south as it may, for them to participate in the census, in the forthcoming census.
Okay.
Now the Lagos State chapter of Ohanese is now saying, no, you don't have to go anywhere, remain in Lagos. Do you think there might be an internal scuttle within the ranks of Ohanese, or it's just a misunderstanding?
I don't think there's going to be any internal thing, especially when people know the basis, the reason for census. The reason for census is for development. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, we bastardized and balkanized that. Since we began census in this country, we have not arrived on a sane figure, a figure that is almost approved by everyone. While the last census stated that, one, there are more men than women in Nigeria, it stated that Kano is more populated than Lagos. I can't understand. I can't understand why a desert, sorry to say, could be more populated than a place that is very full of water and all that other things. And fortunately, while they were doing their own, the last time it was done, I've forgotten the year now, Mr. Fashola too was doing that of Lagos. They were following them and they were doing their own head count. And why I think the federal government arrived at about maybe 18 million or thereabouts, Lagos State arrived at more than 20 million. So you can see. So because there is suppression of numbers in some places and overbloating of numbers in other places, then, and because census is meant even for development, then people will want to migrate or go back to their villages to be counted, so that whenever there's anything the government want to do, you look at the population of the place and want to do that to that place, rather than even development of the country.
Okay.
If there's no even development and everything that we want to do has to be done by the number of people residing on a particular place, then people will want to migrate to their villages, because everybody wants their villages or towns or cities to be developed.
Okay.
And that is not the best. Where you should have been is where you're staying, where you are paying your taxes to, where you probably have a business or two and your family lives.
Where you have your livelihood.
Yes, where you have your livelihood, and not because you came from one XYZ town, then you have to go back to that place when there's going to be election, when there's going to be census. No, it shouldn't be that way. Maybe when we have a government, we have a country, like Chino Achebe said, there was a country. Nigeria had been a country. That country has been killed. It was eliminated by the military in 1966 when they brought themselves in as this thing, and they centralized and they unitarized this country. So except we go back to the basis and begin to run a constitution that is really federated, that each and every part of this country is governed by their own people, is manage whatever resources they have under them, then maybe vote some money to the central government.
Okay.
Like it is done in the US. Almost all the states in the United States are almost autonomous of the federal. And that is what a federal state unit means. Nigeria has about 250 or more nationalities. And that is why Nigeria that we have today is not a nation. What we have is a geographical expression, as Obafemi Awolowo called it. So anybody that comes from Nigeria will first be, for instance, if he comes from the western region, he will first be a Yoruba man before being a Nigerian. And it shouldn't be like that. For instance, when you ask a U.S. person, which part are you from U.S., he will be looking at you, what do you mean? I'm a United States citizen, of course, so I don't know. Somebody might be living in Texas today and in New York tomorrow. Immediately he moves to New York, he becomes a New Yorker. So it's automatic. So you can do whatever any New Yorker is doing. But here in Nigeria, even if you migrated to some place years ago, they will still tell you the story that baba,
We know when he came here.
We know when he came here.
All right.
All this and all
Okay.
that.
All right, Barrister Olakpo. Quickly now, the very last one I'd like your reaction on is the House of Reps are mandating 5-year practice for doctors before leaving Nigeria.
I don't want to say what I wanted to say, but that is unconstitutional. Very, very unconstitutional.
The bill has passed second reading, No,
that the past second reason is just those are the processes. It will be put on debate when ADNIC has been transferred to the committee stage now. It will be in the committee stage now. So at the committee stage, they will invite people to come and debate, tell the National Assembly what they thought about that. You, Nigerian government, that failed even to ensure that the economy works well. Because if the economy works well, people will not want to travel out.
Of course.
I remember during our fathers, they said they don't want to go abroad. Even when they are given, they even told us that going to London and some other European countries, you don't need a visa. You just go to the airport. I'm going to London. You go to London, you drink and wine and pounded jam. You come back to Nigeria. To London. You just like joking. And this one that you have today now, you have to go and sleep in
Embassy.
UK High Commission or in, American Embassy. And you even go to prophets and woli and every other
pray so that it will all go well.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's unfortunate.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Barrister Folusho Olakpo, for your time this morning. We're very, very
Thank
grateful.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right.
I appreciate it.
All right. All right. Don't forget that you can also be a part of the conversation this morning. The number to call is 0704 800 1005. Hello. Quickly, you have 1 minute.
Hello, yeah.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, that's Engineer Joshua.
All right. All right, you're welcome. Quickly.
Yeah. When the Johannes is calling Igbos to come back home for the census, are they the governor of the state? That when they can't population, so the money will be entering their pocket. If the governor of the states from East wants people to come back, they'll make a provision. They'll bring a luxurious, like hundreds of luxurious each every state. They'll bring people homes. Would every job be saying something without no planning, like other Nigerians? When they do things, they just do it anyhow. So it's that is unplanned system. They will say people will go home. And that's one is all about Nigeria planning. They always planning. Many of them are planning like people who don't travel. They always outside planning concern the subsidy. You want to remove subsidy.
Okay.
And they carry food oil outside.
All right.
So that you can able to be buying it 800, 700. What is the game?
Okay. All right. Thank you for your own.
You're supposed to put this in order. They have refinery, local one, and this one. So you can build it in your locality and other places.
All right.
I don't know why Nigeria, they are going outside.
All right.
They stay in the hotel. They enjoy themselves everywhere.
Okay. All right.
Happy with the outside.
All right.
But in Nigeria here, they will try to just do things as they just come up.
Okay. Thank you for your own contribution this morning. You can also be a part of the conversation. The number to call is 0704 800 1005 or you call 09060605719. And please, as you place those calls through, remember you have just 1 minute to make known your own opinion, as there are so many other people that wants to call on the program. Hello, good morning. Hello. I think we lost that one. You can call us back on 0704 800 1005 or 09060605719. Don't forget that we're also live on Facebook right about now at Inspiration FM 100.5 Ibadan. Like, comment, and continue to share so that the loved ones can also be a part of pay-per-view on Inspiration FM this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. I don't know what seems to be wrong with the phone line. But in case you're calling one, it's not going through. You can as well call the other line to be a part of the conversation. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Quickly, you have 1 minute. Your name and where you're calling from.
I brother Portugal from Abu.
Okay, you're welcome.
On the ASU issue,
Okay.
I think, like your analyst already said, the federal government is overloaded. They need to make sure maybe this university are autonomous or they are under the state governors.
Okay.
And that can only be happened by constitution amendment. Our lawmakers need to fix that.
Okay.
When it comes to this refinery, our governors, I think they are the ones that are actually I don't want to punishing us. If these governors have put on their thinking cap, build modular refineries, and we are refining locally, I think we wouldn't have been in this big mess.
Okay.
So
all right.
Let our governors too help us out.
All right.
On that
Thank
issue.
you for your own
Thank
contribution. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Miriam. I'm calling from Odediran.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. See, to me in Nigeria, what we need is a functional refinery and not the yeye palliative. Because at the end of the day, it will only be looted by those in power. I hope we get it right one day. That's my say. Good morning.
All right. Thank you for your own contribution. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, James.
Good morning. This is Tolu from UI, right?
Yes.
Quickly, you have 40 seconds.
All right. On the distribution of funds into our universities, well, it's a good development because if you see the state of our university in Nigeria, you will feel sorry for this nation. And we all know the importance of education in nation building. Because here in you as an example, sometimes we will not have reagents for practical classes due to lack of funds. So it will go a long way in reviving our education system. But then it can't be enough. I also want to implore that the money should be used for the purpose that is being
disbursed for.
the money is meant for.
All right.
Because we've had a lot of cases of corruption in our university.
All right. Thank you for your own contribution this morning. Okay, all right, we go still taking calls on 0704 800 1005. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. All right, you have 40 seconds.
On the issue of events.
Okay.
To me, we cannot get it right. It's not we Nigerians, but those in power.
Why will you be so pessimistic?
They love the corruption in that sector. That is why they find it difficult to get it right. Let me tell you, let them remove every subsidy they wanted to remove. They will still complain again. The same thing they did in diesel and kerosene. Did they get it right? Diesel costs high price of every commodity that you are producing in Nigeria. Am I right? So what's the essence of it? Nothing. So everywhere in the world, there is subsidy for everything.
All right.
So if that should be on the petrol that you are enjoying here, let it be and fight the corruption there that's in that sector.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your own contribution to this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother. I'm Alaji Wala.
All right.
The government was to do. You are in government. Before you come into government, you must be focused. You must have plans. You must have things you want to implement. So if after 7 years, 9 months, or 10 months, you don't know what to do, then you are nobody. You see, refinery should have been built long time ago. Modular refineries, they have been certificates. People have been given certificates. You did not allow them to start. Now you are going, you want to say you remove. Anybody who tries that will cause chaos in the country because there is already tension in the land. We have been stabbed dead in Nigeria.
All right.
With all these policies
all
that
right.
are against the market.
Okay.
So, Tinubu should not try it.
All right.
Otherwise, the northern youths have started. So it means stumble into western, southern states. So it should be extra careful.
All right.
Let them put everything in place.
All right.
Let the inquiry be there. Let all the corruption be checked. Let the Department of Vandalism be copped.
All right.
And all other sectors, the mining minerals we have, let them shut them.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your own time this morning. Hello. Good morning to you, our last caller. You have 30 seconds.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Kola. I'm calling from Okado.
All right. 30 seconds. Quickly.
First of all, I'm very happy that IPOB agree with me. You know, I condemned the call yesterday, and I'm very happy that they agree with me. Secondly, I don't support the removal of subsidy. Because palliative means nothing to me, because what's supposed to benefit larger society ends up in this profit. So instead of removing the subsidy and giving us palliative, they should sanitize the industry and ensure that those that are responsible for subsidy fraud commit what they are facing.
All right.
And use whatever they get to repair our refinery.
All right. Thank you.
They can remove the subsidy.
All right.
That's
Thank
my
you.
contribution.
All right. Thank you. All right. I'm afraid that's the much we'll be able to take for calls. This wonderful morning on to our Facebook page right about now. Gumbi Sheriff is saying good morning to you too. Tolu Loprade he says good morning, James. We don't need any palliative whatsoever from the government because the subsidy palliative will be looted by the government officials themselves since that has been the order of the day under this current APC-led federal government, and that was evident in the way the school feeding program, trader money, and all sorts was handled. Removing subsidy without having functional refineries in the country would be tantamount to subjecting average Nigerians into more hardship, suffering, which is very bad. Let the government do the needful first by resuscitating our moribund refineries, especially the one of Eleme in Port Harcourt, which they claimed would start its full operation since last year, December. All right, thank you for your own contribution. Lesami Orire Idowu saying good morning to you too. Miriam yesterday saying good morning, James. A very good morning to you too. Thank you so much to everybody that has been a part of Pay-Per-View this morning. We'll be back by God's grace tomorrow, Saturday from 8 to 8:30. My own name is James Odediran. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Up next is a news update at 9, and after that we'll have a Bebe Sport with Abiodun Orokumbi. Have a wonderful rest of your day and that of the weekend. Happy Good Friday.
Oluyole City, Ibadan, Atide. Check us out on 100.5 FM.
Thank God it's Friday!
Babe, what's the big deal about Friday anyway?
Well, for me, Friday is not just any other day, but one to always anticipate.
And then?
It's Zinger Triple Treat Friday at KFC.
It's 3 times finger licking good with KFC Zinger Triple Treat. Only on Fridays at all KFC stores nationwide. Buy 3 Zinger burgers at over 40% discount. Available when you walk into any KFC stores nationwide or order online on any of our delivery partners.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Ramadan, oṣù àpọ́nlé, oṣù uẹsẹ̀ oṣù tọ́lọ́run ọba yọ́nú sí tó máa ń ṣàdìpẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹ̀san fáwọn ẹrú rẹ̀ ó tún ti wọlé dé wẹ́rẹ́ alihamdulilayi eléyìí ló wá mú rédíò àkọ́kọ́ fún gbogbo ẹbí Inspiration 100.5 FM péyàmọ́ ètò oríṣiríṣi kalẹ̀ láti pàdé oṣù Ramadan ẹ̀ láǹfààní láti wá aṣọ onígbọ̀wọ́ àwọn ètò wa bíi.
ìṣẹ́jú márùn-ún mẹ́wàá mẹ́ẹ̀ẹ́dógún tàbí ọgbọ̀n ìṣẹ́jú pẹ̀lú owó tásẹ́rẹ́ tí ò tó nǹkan bó sì jẹ́ ìrun pípé lẹ́yìn fẹ́ so nígbọ̀wọ́ àbí ẹ̀bùn lẹ fẹ́ kó wá ẹ kàn sí alága ìgbìmọ̀ Ramadan Quadri Lawal Ajanasi sórí 08138935202 tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè sí orí nọ́mbà yìí 07032463347.
bákan náà ẹ sì lè kàn sí wa nílé iṣẹ́ wa tó wà ní nọ́mbà 43 Standard Junction Oríta Basọ̀run Ìbàdàn.
ẹ kàn sí wa lónìí kẹ́ ẹ mú kínkín wá kẹ́ ẹ fi gba ọ̀pọ̀ yanturu.
Inspiration 100.5 FM ló ń kí wa wípé Ramadan Kareem.
North, west, or south, we inspire. inspire both the young and the old. We are Inspiration
100.5 FM.
It's time for a news update now on
Inspiration 100.5 FM.
Very good morning to you. This is the news update at 9 on Inspiration 100.5 FM. I am James Odediran. Let's begin with reports that President Muhammadu Buhari has terminated the appointment of Saratu Umar as the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission with immediate effect. The Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, reviewed this in a statement he signed. In a direct